the high school football season in the state of Tennessee. We're at Haywood Stadium, Baylor School, right on the banks of the Tennessee River, here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, for another home matchup for the Red Raiders. It's the number 7 team ranked in the state of Georgia against the number 1 team in the state of Tennessee. Baylor Red Raiders taking on the Eagles of Rabun Gap in a contest here this evening at Haywood Stadium. Two pretty good teams square off. How about Rabun Gap playing the number 1 team in the state of Georgia last week and the number 1 team in the state of Tennessee this week?
And last week they played them off their feet. They faced a Grayson team, folks, that is 6A in Georgia. They suit over 200 kids when you go from freshman to varsity. Last week, just on the varsity alone, Grayson suited over 100 players, and Rabun Gap took it right to them. Forced a bunch of turnovers and actually blocked a kick and jumped out to a 12-0 lead. Grayson would come back, but then Rabun Gap had a chance to take the lead late in the game inside the 30-yard line. They couldn't close the deal, but this is an impressive team. Road Warriors, they got some size, and if you recall, Jim, this is the 3rd meeting between the Eagles and the Red Raiders, and Rabun Gap came in here 2 years ago and actually won the game.
Yeah, the beginning of the season, one of Eric Kimry's second years, the head coach. Rabun Gap came in here, and they weren't highly touted at that time, but they came in here and knocked off the Red Raiders. And as you remember, on the ESPN game, the Sunday afternoon game a year ago, Baylor had to come from behind late and get a couple of big defensive plays to hang on and claim a win.
Jamie and Theodore blocked a kick that changed things really late, but yeah, this will be this bunch is ready. They're Road Warriors, and they really would love to come in here and make another statement.
So think about this. Here's a team 0-1 for the year and ranked in the top 10 in the state of Georgia.
Outstanding. Just they have some size. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, as the game goes on, maybe in just a moment. But boy, they can put the ball in the end zone. If you make a mistake, folks, they will make you pay. I don't know that they can put together multiple drives of 80 yards or more, but if you make a mistake, especially in your end of the field, they are very methodical. They will make you pay.
I was going to say, great game last week for Rabun Gap. They lost to that top team in the state of Georgia, 24-19. They're at Washington next week, then ACS, Providence Day, bye week, Christian Brothers, Charlotte Christian, Christ School. Then they take on Cannon Co-op the following week and then finish out the season. Interesting, though, you say, they're a team from Georgia. Why haven't I seen them in the playoffs? Why haven't I seen them at State Farm Arena? Why haven't I seen them at Mercedes-Benz? Because they're not a member of the Georgia High School Athletic Association. And the reason they're not, the same reason that we talk about Baylor and McCallie, it's all a boarding school thing. So right now, Rabun Gap, hopeful of someday getting in the Georgia High School Association, being able to compete in the playoffs, but right now, because they have borders and they do have international players, they do have players from Canada, and I guess all the Baylor players from Canada, all the Rabun Gap players from Canada, but since they do have boarding schools so far, because of the controversy that we're well aware of in the state of Tennessee, especially with Baylor and McCallie and some others, they're not a member of the High School Association.
What they do have is some serious size, especially on the offensive line. They go 6'6", 275, 6'7", 291, 6'2", 271, 6'4", 323, and then 6'6", 275. So that's the offensive line, and defensively they're stout as well. So they're not going to come in here as they don't play the Cinderella thing. They want to play physical, very fundamental football and force you into mistakes.
Yeah, Derek White, the head football coach at Rabun Gap, has really kind of elevated their program over the last several years. And we've seen, like you said, we've seen how good they are. They thought they started out the year, and their goal last year was being the top 100 in the country. They ended up in the top 50 in the country. So it was a good football team last year and a pretty good team this year as well.
Who stands out for them? Walker Bryson, number 2, is their leading receiver, 91 yards after one game. Jordan Lindo averages about 29 yards. Walker also has 2 touchdowns. Owen Madden is their leading tackle. He had 19 tackles last week. So they've got some athletes, folks. I think is kind of what we're trying to say here. And this will be a test for both teams, but this ought to be you're going to have to play fundamentally sound football to beat this group.
And the sophomore running back is really good as well. And I'm going to make you pronounce his name.
Royce Jugim, I believe, 6'1", 235. Gavin Owens is their quarterback. He's 6'4", 207, and he can spin it a little bit. He's got great size, run if he has to. I would say they're effective, if not spectacular. But again, they can make you pay, especially if you turn the ball over in the red zone.
So we go down on the field, Craig and I do, and we say, okay, we're getting our pronunciations. We asked 5 assistant coaches, how do you pronounce Royce's last name? None of them knew. They had to call the head coach on the phone.
They told us just to say Royce.
And I said, we can't do that.
We wanted to, but I thought, Mom might get mad. So, yeah, it's Royce Jugim.
Yeah, it's D-J-O-U-G-U-E-M. I know this. You can go G-O-O-D because he's a good one.
And ironically, he wears the number 0. And there's a young man in red that wears the number 0 that's ironically Baylor's most spectacular player. And that ought to be one heck of a battle at the running back spot.
I was going to say, I thought a great article by Stephen Hargis today in the Chattanooga Times Free Press talking about David Gabriel Georges and his journey and his future and all this kind of stuff. And here's a guy so talented, no doubt about it. We've seen talented guys before, but few have the talent and the discipline that he has. They were talking about his eating regimen. He hasn't had a candy bar in a year and a half. Get him a Snickers
That's a
bar,
crime.
for God's sakes.
Well, get him up here with us in the press box. We'll fix that.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
In a hurry. He does everything well, and he is really so physical. Folks, if you could see him on the field and the way he delivers a blow, he is not a defensive running back. He is an offensive running back because he deals out some punishment, and you have got to have some will if you want to tackle number 0 for 60 minutes.
And where's he going to be tomorrow?
He's going to be at Ohio Stadium to watch the Buckeyes host the Longhorns. That'll be a fun plane ride.
And he has scholarship offers from
everybody.
Well, he does from everybody. He has 34 offers right now. He could go anywhere he wants in the country.
It's just amazing. His skill set, I was telling some friends of mine, if you want to put him in the slot, he can do that. You want him to carry it 20 times, he can do that. You want to put him at receiver, he can do. There's nothing he doesn't do well. He's deadly on a wheel route. He's just fundamentally sound. And I think the thing that looks out a difference from last year to this year is he is physically bigger. And it looks like he has even better balance than he did a year ago. And last year he was spectacular.
Yeah, when he says he wants a treat, he gives himself a sweet potato. Come on.
Wow.
Come on, DGG.
Well, we can cure that.
Follow the JR diet.
We can fix that.
Well,
yeah.
You add that with Briggs Cherry, so you can't just focus on him. You can't just focus on the run game. And that offensive line, I thought, had a real nice game last week.
Absolutely. And, to Coach Kimmery's credit, they are not going to tote him out there and give him the football 40 times a game. They've got enough weapons. They want balance. But he is really, really, folks, this kid is somebody to watch.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to look back. And, again, is he the number 1 running back in the country? The scouting services, and this is what Eric Kimmery has said, the head coach of the Red Raiders, the scouting services says he's only the number 3 running back in the country. He goes, when the scouts come in, they say he's the number 1 guy in the nation.
Well,
number
if you're
1 in the nation, and we have a chance to see him every week.
And only 1% of high school players are what they call 5-star recruits. That projects to be you're going to be drafted when your college career is over. And he certainly looks the part. I don't know if there's 2 better than him. More power to him. I will just say he's the best one that we've seen around here in the Chattanooga area in a long time.
But they were talking about comparing Gerald Riggs and Jamar Gibbs and all those. You think of the greatest running backs that we've seen in our area. He's right up there.
I think he does remind me a little bit of Gerald Riggs. He is a little more versatile in terms of catching the football out of the backfield. I think his hands are just outstanding. And again, don't sell him short as a blocker. He does everything well. He is just a straight-up football player.
And I would say one area that Baylor wants to redevelop, so to speak, at that receiver role. But I thought Caden Dewey had a nice start in game number 1, and that receiving room did a pretty good job.
They did a nice job. The offensive line gave Briggs time to throw. He made a couple of really touch throws that, boy, it was impressive to see from the quarterback, especially in week 1. It was a nice overall effort. They won by the mercy rule. That's always good to get your season started. This will be a bit of a physical challenge for them tonight.
I was going to say a tough schedule for the Red Raiders on the road next week at Brentwood Academy, LFL Academy at home on the 12th, at CPA, at MBA, at Macaulay, then a bye week, and then Ambassador Christian. Ainsworth, one of the teams ranked in the top of the state, will be here on the 24th. That could be a key game when we start looking for playoff spots, and then ending the season on Halloween against Knox Catholic.
A lot of road games, so they're going to have, the Red Raiders are going to have to be road warriors. This is one of their home games, but I tell you what, they're going to have to get up to speed in a hurry, and they know it, because when you go on the road against the teams they have to face, mistakes are magnified. And so far, they've gotten off to a great start. Tonight ought to be a nice window into what the rest of the season could hold.
Yeah, this will be a pretty good challenge. This is not going to be like last week. It's not going to be one of those where you just line up, show up. You got to be fundamentally sound tonight against a team who expects to win, and they expect to win here at Haywood Stadium.
And
tonight.
they would love nothing, because they've done it before, and they would love nothing better to take. It's a 3-hour road trip. That bus ride back home would just be, they'd be on cloud 9, leaving here with a W.
Yeah, 3 hours of pure joy, I would think.
Absolutely.
So it'll be the Red Raiders taking on the Eagles tonight. Pretty good rivalry. One team from Georgia, one team from Tennessee. Number 1 Baylor and number 7 Rabun Gap. Should be a good one here tonight.
School Eagles and the Red Raiders of Baylor. We would like to extend a warm welcome to our visitors from the Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia. And at this time, we would like to introduce the starting lineups for the Eagles, coached by Derek White. In numerical order, number 0, sophomore running back, Royce Jugim. Number 1, senior free safety, Zeke Marshall. Number 2, senior wide receiver, Walker Bryson. Number 4, senior wide receiver, C.J. Willingham. Number 5, senior quarterback, Gavin Owens. Number 7, junior inside linebacker, Praise Chain. Number 8, senior wide receiver, Isaac Obrakta. Number 9, sophomore outside linebacker, Kalen Brown. Number 13, sophomore cornerback, Nelson Coleman. Number 15, senior inside linebacker, David McConzo. Number 17, senior wide receiver, Joshua Buckhalter. Number 18, freshman outside linebacker, Jay Shell. Number 21, sophomore cornerback, Trevon Johnson. Number 28, senior strong safety, Owen Madden. Number 65, senior right guard, Vaughn Holly. Number 67, senior center, Charles Emile Benet. Number 72, junior left guard, Jacob Burns. Number 75, junior left tackle, Elijah Hutchison. Number 77, senior right tackle, Wilson Zyrer. Number 80, sophomore defensive tackle, Shaggy Alexander. Number 90, junior defensive tackle, Marcellus Casario. And number 99, freshman nose guard, Isaac Lucuni. Once again, the Eagles are coached by Derek White. Tonight's high school football game is made possible pardon me, I have to announce the officials. The referee tonight is Brian Langston. The umpire is Dexter Barnett. The head linesman is Tavares Armour. Line judge Skylar Anderson. Back judge Thomas Crow. Field judge D'Angelo McReynolds. Side judge Tyke Gooden. ECO is Darian Burkholder. And the PCO is Randy Schuford. And now tonight's high school football game is made possible in part by Park Ridge Health System. With 5 hospitals working together as one in the Chattanooga region, Park Ridge Health provides a full range of medical and mental health care including sports medicine and orthopedics. For more information, visit parkridgehealth.com. This game is being played according to the rules of the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can also help to promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Each one is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of sportsmanship. And now if you'll turn your attention to the Baylor Jumbotron scoreboard, the Baylor starters will introduce themselves.
Jamian Theodore, defensive back, senior.
Jordan Davangila, cornerback, junior.
Kobe Barrett, safety, senior.
Corey Faulkner, linebacker, junior.
Cosmo Mario, linebacker, sophomore.
Keegan Whaley, outside linebacker, senior.
Maxim Subonyako, linebacker, sophomore.
Anselm Julien, linebacker, junior.
Jean-Pierre Eto, safety, junior.
Isaac Beeson, defensive line, junior.
Jacob Tate, defensive lineman, junior.
Jaden Arenas Michelle, defensive lineman, senior.
David Gabriel George, running back, junior.
Caden Dewey, wide receiver, senior.
Briggs Cherry, quarterback, senior.
Hank DeGennaro, receiver, sophomore.
Judah Smith, wide receiver, senior.
Braxton Rain, tight end, sophomore.
Cash Freeman, center, and junior.
Max McClure, left guard, junior.
Charlie Edgeworth, offensive line, senior.
Xavier Wade, right guard, senior.
John King, offensive line, senior.
Gabriel Ofenda, offensive line, senior.
Charlie Silverman, long snapper, senior.
Sam Shutters, kicker, punter, junior.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to please stand for the invocation before tonight's game, to be delivered by Matt Farr, Baylor class of 2003, the chaplain of Baylor School. Then please remain standing for our national anthem, to be performed tonight by Baylor sophomore Cecilia Weaver. First, Reverend Farr.
I invite you all to observe a moment of brief silence as we remember those who lost their lives this week in Minneapolis. And now I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer. Almighty God, we are met tonight to witness the contest between the Tigers of Baylor and the Eagles of Rabun Gap. We pray that you help both teams take it to the limit of their abilities this evening. Let no player take it easy, but give their all for their schools today. One team will know heartache tonight, while the winner has the eye of the tiger. We pray that you imbue every heart on the field with the simple joy and the peaceful, easy feeling of playing the game. Keep every player safe and inspire us all with good sportsmanship. And may your blessings be with these schools now and forevermore. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your captains are coming. They're at the foot of the gate right now.
Standing by for captains. We don't have a visual.
Junior shifting through to the end zone for the Baylor school. Theodore, pick six. Have you a nice young man? My goodness.
The captains will meet at midfield for the coin toss. The captains tonight for Rabun Gap: number 1, Zeke Marshall; number 2, Walker Bryson; number 79, Barrett Neal; and number 99, Isaac Lukuni. The captains for Baylor: number 1, Jamie Theodore; number 2, Caden Dewey; number 79, Gabo Senda; number 99, Jaden Arenas Michelle. And the honorary captains for tonight's game from Baylor, the entire Baylor Dining Hall staff.
Are we ready? No, we're not ready yet. Are we ready? Tell me.
Rabun Gap has won the toss. They've elected to defer their choice to the second half. Baylor is elected to receive and will defend the north goal.
I can say during the coin toss that Craig Cecil was shaking his head, saying that we've seen this movie before. Why would you want to put the football in the hands of the Red Raiders?
Oh, okay.
They have done it many, many times,
right, guys.
scoring on that first or second possession, right?
Absolutely. We've seen it for the better part of really 3 years, almost 2 years and count, 2 years plus. I would not put this offense on the field first.
Eric Kimry in his 4th season as the head coach of the Red Raiders, 228 total victories, 228-26 total, 34-6 in his 3+ seasons with the Red Raiders. Now in his 4th year, as we said, coached tight ends at USC before that, was at the Hammond Schools, the head coach for 16 years. During that time, they won 12 state championships, 6 straight titles. He moved on to and he loved South Carolina, his alma mater, was an assistant coach at South Carolina. His friend Chris Angel came here and said, hey, they were together at the Hammond School, said let's do it again in Chattanooga. That's turned out pretty well.
Worked.
Yeah, it's turned out pretty well.
What a physical matchup we're going to see on this series. The Rabun Gap defense. Sagoon Shaggy Alexander, 6'3", 270. Isaac Lukumi, 6'2", 270. Marcellus Casario, 6'6", 255. They will try and deal with the Baylor offensive line. And we've talked about a lot of them, especially Big Gabo Senda, 6'8", 380. Charlie Edgeworth, 6'8", 324. So it's big on big to start this one. Rabun Gap kind of a 3-4 defense. They move a lot of people around. This ought to be, and you know they are intent on stopping the Red Raider running game.
Which will not be easy.
Easy to say, difficult to do.
But again, it's not like they're not used to playing the top teams in the Southeast like they did last week, and they were right in the game. Now, they got a little bit fortunate forcing some turnovers, won the turnover battle by 5 or 6 a week ago. Normally, if you win by that margin, you're cruising to a win. But they ran into a team that was very, very talented, and they were unable to take advantage of it. Lost to the number 1 team in the state of Georgia, 24-19 a week ago, and had a chance to win late. Kickoffs to the line drive, fielded on the 18-yard line, up to the 30, to the 35. Still on his feet, and a nice return to give the Red Raiders pretty good field position to get this contest underway. I don't think he wanted, when we talk about sometimes hang time, not a lot of hang time that time. Red Raiders take over, first down, 10 yards to
Colby
go.
Barrett made a nice cut midstream there, put that right foot into the ground and turned it up. The Red Raiders start with nice field position at the 39-yard line.
First down, 10 yards to go. Didn't talk about Briggs Cherry too much, the Louisville commit, the senior who had a nice week last week and a great year a year ago. Man in motion is the tight end Rain, who ends up on the right side. Cherry pulls it out, rolls out far side, trying to find a lane, just dumps it off and finds Jamie and Theodore. When you could dump it off to a talented player like number 1, you got good things going for you.
Well, they sent Caden Dewey long, and that was well defended by Zeke Marshall of Rabun Gap. Jamie and Theodore the check down, and they move the chains.
So a first down on play number 1. First down into Rabun Gap territory at the 48-yard line. Cherry, intermediate range. That one had caught. So they looked for Caden Dewey the first time, couldn't find him. Looked for Caden Dewey a second time and found him for another first down.
What a great throw over the linebackers and in a place where only his receiver would catch it, and they're going to go tempo here quickly.
Going fast, Cherry from the shotgun. There's number 0 to run to the outside. Cuts it inside, breaks a tackle, how about that? 30 yards, first time he touches the football, and DGG.
Wow.
Doesn't take long. Although I'm a little bit upset, last week it was 2 plays. This time,
they're slowing down.
3 plays.
You know, usually running backs, when they get a well-blocked play, they want to go outside. Here's the brilliance of DGG. He could have gone either way. He just cut upfield as quickly as he could, split the seam, and he was off to the races.
30 yards for the touchdown. Extra point by Shutters is good, and Red Raiders score again. You want to go over that coin flip again and why you would give the ball in the
I think we just saw why.
7-0 lead as that drive goes 61 yards, 3 plays. David Gabriel George's 30 yards on the touchdown run. Well, when you're the Red Raiders and you score on every possession,
all right, watch the block here on the outside, Theodore. Now, most running backs would take it to the sideline, but he cuts upfield, and it is over. Well blocked play there, and what can you say about number 0?
That hasn't already been said.
I'm telling you.
57 seconds, 61 yards, 3 plays. David Gabriel George's 30 yards on the touchdown run. Yeah, they talk about, on defense, angles, right? At some point in time, a defensive lineman, defensive end right there said, oops, I've taken an angle. I should have given more ground. It's hard to simulate that speed of.
And folks, I don't think that was full speed either. I don't think he even got to full speed till the end.
And that was celebration speed, right?
I'll tell you what, that was efficient, to say the least. And what have we said, Jim, for the better part of over 2 years? It's tough to beat Baylor when you start out 7-0 with 10:53 left in the first quarter.
Front three, Jacob Tate, Isaac Beeson, Jaden Arenas-Michelle. Good coverage and good play on first down for the Eagles of Rabun Gap. And if you were not there on the pregame show, just saying that they played the top team in the state of Georgia last week, playing the top team in the state of Tennessee this week, and pick up 9 yards on first down. Second down, a yard to go. Good gambling down right here. Pulling it back. Full screen. Enough for the first down. I think that's probably wise. I just don't know if with regularity you're going to beat Baylor deep. They have speed in the secondary. If you can just pick up that first down, take possession for 3-4 more downs and move on from there. They're doing a little tempo right here. Into the line, a couple of yards, up to the 40. So that'll end up being a 4 or 5 yard pickup on that first down play. Positive yards on first down for the Eagles. Put it at the 39-yard line for a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
And that was Royce Jugim with the carry that time for the Eagles. Or as they like to call him, just Royce.
Royce. It's just easier on everyone. 2nd down, 6. Rabun Gap right on that Georgia-Carolina border. Again, going underneath some of the quick stuff. That's the way I would attack Baylor, in all honesty. And they get the midfield for a first down.
And as we saw last week, if they give you cushion with the athletes that the Eagles have, they can really, move the football. They haven't done anything really spectacular here. They've just kind of taken what they can take advantage of depending on the Red Raiders defense.
To the 47-yard line for head coach Derek White. Coached in high school as an assistant coach at Vanderbilt for a while. A little high snap. There's Royce bringing it to the 40-yard line. See, they're showing some power. You mentioned the physicality, and remember last week there seemed to be such a discrepancy in heights and weights. Red uniforms, white uniforms, but not so much this week.
No, there's a lot of size on that Eagle offensive line, and they move well.
And that's a gain of 6 yards on first down.
77, Wilson Zyrer. He doesn't look big, but folks, he's 6'6", 275.
2nd down. Handoff or a flip. That's the old-fashioned. Baylor just did a nice job of stringing it out, didn't they?
Exactly. Colby Barrett there to finish, but that was well strung out by the defensive line.
Gain of 1 to the 40, so it sets up a 3rd down and 5. For Rabun Gap, they took possession at the 10:53 mark, so they got the football at 2.5 minutes right now. It's those 1, 2, 3 and outs that kill you, I think, when you're playing the Red Raiders. Handoff. Caught from behind near the first down marker.
Again, that was Joshua Buckhalter with the carry there.
I think I'm going, if I'm head coach and I'm in this situation, I'm going for it on 4th down.
Why not?
I think Derek White is as well. That'll be enough for a first down, I believe.
Gavin Owens with a nice second effort to nudge his way through. That was stopped initially, but Jim, that time the tempo helped them. They got in and out of their huddle quickly, and it's a first down for the Eagles.
And this will be the 9th play of this drive. I just think short passes, ball control is one way to attack the Red Raiders. Hang on to the football as long as you can. Trips to the near side. That means 3 receivers near side of your screen. Breaking 1 tackle. Someone lost a helmet. That's the center.
That's right.
Charles Emile Benet.
And Charles will have to step out after losing the helmet there.
But again,
very effective drive. Your defense is off the field. You're making progress offensively. And you notice, Jim, no long developing plays. Nothing really deep. Kind of a quick game. 3-step. Get rid of the football as quickly as you can. Get it to your skill people on the edge. Then when that may give you some room to run up the middle, which they did that time.
Yeah, if you don't have the power, and Baylor, I think, defensively has great power on their defensive line. If you're worried about a pass rush, that's the way to go.
Rabun Gap. Timeout, Rabun Gap. That is their first.
So, Rabun Gap with the timeout, like I said, took over at the 10:53 mark. So they've had it for over 4 minutes, and this will be the 10th play of this drive coming up. Started on their own 20. They've moved all the way down to the Baylor 28-yard line. They have played well. Derek White, the head coach at Rabun Gap, and Eric Kimmery were friends and rival coaches in South Carolina. So they've had a long relationship, and both of them suffer from the same thing. Can't find anyone that wants to play us.
That's right.
It was just interesting because they do have boarding students, and we mentioned earlier on our pregame coverage that that's the reason they're not a member of the Georgia High School Athletic Association. That's why they can't compete in the playoffs, because of that distinction. They do take boarding students, and they also have a lot of players from Canada, and they said, yeah, all our players from Canada know all Baylor's players from Canada. Some have played together, as a matter of fact. Some have played against each other. Some just know each other. Good position for the Eagles right now with a second down, about 3. At the Baylor 28-yard line. Was that a mix-up? Or did he? Either that was a real good fake, which it must have been.
It must have been. That was a nice job there. That looked like a busted play from the beginning, but boy, Darian Barnes, the senior receiver, Gavin Owens just floated one out there to him in the flat, and he made it, turned it upfield, and it's a first down.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a missed exchange or just a great
It looked
fake.
like Gavin, the way he pivoted.
Yes, I was like that too. He wanted to get rid of the football.
Yeah.
No, there were no takers. Bounces outside. Emery Julian, nice tackle that time from the linebacker spot. He's got a great combination of size and speed. And from that linebacker spot, and linebackers are getting quicker. It's not the old Ray Nitschke, Dick Butkus type anymore. They're taller, leaner, and faster. Although I think Butkus and those guys could still play. Maybe. Second down, gain of a couple on first down. Pulls it back out and runs it himself.
Wow, not the most effective decision of the night for Gavin Owens.
He kept it in the gut there for a long time before he pulled it out. Yeah.
And really, I guess he saw something. He saw a key that he wanted to jump on, but Baylor was there to shut that down. This is a third and 5 here. You know, Jim, you got to feel like, though, at the 10, they're in 4-down territory.
For sure. Keeper did not get the first.
Boy, you thought that had some room to develop there.
I agree.
But again, the Red Raiders closed defensively, shut that down.
Hey, Gavin Owens, the quarterback, initially thought that there was some room there. And I'm like you there. I think they are definitely going to go for it on 4th down. You could get points here, I think. You could get 3, but I'm not sure if you get this close. You just have to say, if we're going to win this game, then the Eagles going for the 7. High snap, top pass,
down.
hit at the line of scrimmage. Another big play by a big play guy.
Jaden Arenas Michelle, the senior, number 99, got a hand on that one. And they will turn it over on downs. Big stop by the Baylor defense.
He's always around the football, isn't he?
He is.
But that's a nice drive of 4. They give up the football after about 6 minutes. Like I said, they took possession at the 10:53 mark and give it up with 4:45. And ran 14 plays.
And you know, Jim, until that pass, they didn't really force anything.
Briggs, cherry number 3. Directing traffic, sending the tight end from left side to right side. Stopped.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll reverse my field. sometimes that can be disaster. I still think he picked up a yard. When you see running backs, when you see ordinary running backs reverse their field, bad things happen a whole lot of times, but positive yard from the 9 to the 10 where it's second down and 9.
And you can see the Eagle defense, first person they have on radar is number 0.
And they go 3-man front. They do that as their base defense. Cherry with time. Floats it on the sideline, incomplete.
A little dangerous there.
Looking for Caden Dewey on that sideline. Now here you have a 3rd down and 9. If you're Rayburn Gap, I didn't think this would be a game of field position per se, because both these teams can do big play type of things, but Rayburn Gap's thinking, you know what? We get a stop here, get the football back, maybe in Baylor territory, or close to it, close to midfield. We'll see. David Gabriel Georges standing next to him on the hip. Cherry.
Oh, my goodness.
That's just a timing thing.
That's a big pop there by the Eagles.
On Hank DiGennaro.
I think that was Owen Madden, the strong safety, 6'1", the senior.
That's when defensive back got there and the football got there right at the same time.
Man.
But how about that? Rayburn Gap.
This will be a 3 and out.
A 3 and out, and the Red Raiders gained a yard. Took over on the 9. They'll punt it away with the line of scrimmage being the 10. Little low snap. Gets it off.
Sam Shutters had to rush to get that kickoff, and the Eagles,
they got exactly what they wanted.
They did. They're going to start this drive inside the 40. Looks like the 38-yard line. So the miscue on 4th down doesn't really hurt them.
So Baylor had the football for 62 seconds. Usually when Baylor has the football 62 seconds, they're kicking off, not punting. 1st and 10 Eagles taking over on the Baylor 38-yard line. Gavin Owens, the quarterback, 6'4", 207, and a senior. Wonder what his options are. He's got the size that everyone loves. Rolls out far side. Woo! That is dangerous. Now there's a penalty flag down. You might think that's a hold.
Threw across his body to the middle of the field, and boy, he was really.
He's fortunate that it's incomplete.
Cosmo DiMatteo right there defensively, and Jim, you're right. They're going to call a hold.
When you're rolling out left and you throw it, across your body in the middle of the field, wow.
Low probability for success in most cases. Gavin's left-handed, so that roll to the left a little more natural.
High probability of a coach yelling at you when you come off the field.
Yes.
Holding. Offense. Number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
That's number 75, Elijah Hutchison, the 6'6" junior left tackle.
270 pounds. And again, most offensive linemen say, you know what, yes, I get holding calls every so often. I'm protecting my quarterback. And most quarterbacks, you know what they say? Thank you very much.
Thank you, yes.
Got the penalty yardage back on the quick passes seem to work.
That's Walker Bryson, who had an outstanding game last week. The senior, 5'11", 180, sure-handed, made that catch in traffic, got most of the penalty back.
Yeah, Walker Bryson's a guy, you have to kind of know where he is. He's a guy that can make big things happen. So the drive started on the 38. They got the penalty yards back to the 39. So it's going to be 2nd and 11 at the 39-yard line. I think they'll mix in the running play sparingly because I just don't think there's going to be a whole.
They were effective on that earlier drive doing that. That play, not so much. That was Jordan Lindo, the junior running back.
5'10", 190. Great night for football. It's still August. We've done the good old-fashioned oppressively hot August games before. 3rd down 9.
The towel under headset games is what those are.
Rolling out far side, throwing it again on the run. He's got some arm strength. He's got a 1st down.
Once again, that's Walker Bryson. They got away. Let's credit Jacob Burns of the Eagles. Almost a hold. Got just enough so Gavin Owens could spring to his left a little more, and he threw a strike, and it's a 1st down.
Showed a little arm strength that time, getting down to about the 16-yard line. So they overcome a holding penalty. That doesn't happen all the time on that drive, and able to convert.
Maxim Suganyako with the tackle there, blasting in from his linebacker spot. I practiced.
Yeah. I can tell. 2nd down, about 8. So Gavin Owens, the quarterback. I think he's made one bad decision so far tonight, but boy, you got to like his arm strength. And like I said, if I were planning, if I were coming up with a game plan, this is what I would do.
Boy, the key to that play, blocking by receivers downfield. That was basically an extended long handoff, and now the Eagles 1st and goal from the 5.
Trying to tie up this ball game. Baylor scored 3 plays in on a 30-yard run.
Red Raiders making a lot of changes here defensively.
Putting a little more bulk in there in short yardage type of situations. Handing off, cutting it in, and in the end zone.
That's Jordan Lindo.
So with less than a minute to play in the 1st quarter, Rabun Gap an extra point away from tying this game up.
And again, what an effective drive by the Eagles.
That's 2 drives.
In terms of yardage, they have and
timeout.
They've
Baylor.
really dominated the
that
first
quarter. That is their
quarter.
first charge timeout of the half.
So Rabun Gap had a nice drive, could not punch it in, and gave it up on downs in a 4th down situation. Held Baylor to 1 yard, forced Baylor to punt, got good field position, and only had to go short field, 38 yards for the touchdown.
And overcame a holding call.
Yeah, 38 yards, 5 plays. Two minutes and 47 seconds. 38 yards, 5 plays, and Lindo 5 yards for the touchdown.
They did a couple of things there, Jim. They ran tempo, but it was a slower tempo. They took their time when they got close to the inside the red zone.
What I think Rabun Gap has done, they've mixed things up and mixed the tempo up as well.
Absolutely.
So they're throwing some change-ups right there and keeping you off balance a little bit. For the tie. Kick, good. Tie football game. As you hear in the background, it's just reassuring to hear Dan Kennedy's voice this week, isn't it?
Yes.
Talked to Dan down on the field and came up here. You talk about an institution at this institution, he's it.
No doubt.
Dan was a little under the weather last week, and a rarity. Dan missed a game. But back this week, and everyone is happy about that. 7-7 tie. And like I said, this is going to be a football game here tonight. And Rabun Gap not afraid to play anyone, as we said. Took on, how many teams in the country play a number one and then followed up with a number one? Number one in Georgia last week, where they lost 24-19, had a chance to win that game and upset the number 1 team in Georgia last week. Couldn't quite pull it off, and the following week, what do? How do you follow that up?
Take on the number 1 team in Tennessee.
Baylor and McCauley, by the way, 1-2 in the rankings. And Ensworth is number 3, so I don't think anyone's surprised at that. Going short on the kick. Interesting. So they didn't want to return, but they'll give Baylor the football at the 25-yard line on the short kick. Sometimes you catch players napping, teams napping in a situation like that, but
not that time.
Yeah, Red Raiders prepared, just made the fair catch right there and take over with 56 seconds to play in the first quarter. Now Baylor last possession a little bit more conservative because they took over on the 10-yard line, right? Now you've got a little bit more room to work, starting at the 25, so let's see if they get a little more big play minded. Briggs Cherry hands it off right up the middle. I've said many times, that just never seems to be a bad option to hand it off to that guy.
DGG looked like a bowling ball going through the bowling pins that time, and that, before you know it, that's a 9-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, if you were just, frozen the picture when he got the football, you wouldn't say, that's probably going to go for 9. You
Right.
say, an average running back will get 3, maybe 4. Yeah, he got 9.
Really nice vision that time.
Man in motion. He gets the handoff.
Colby Barrett with the carry there.
Picks up the final yard. Gets the first down. Barrett kind of started from the slot position in there, and they sent him around as the first quarter comes to an end. First quarter, 7-7 tie at the end of 12 minutes. Nice night here at Haywood Stadium. Game number 2 of the year. Baylor won that game last week when they knocked off Santa Lucia's 56-17. And as we mentioned several times, that Rabun Gap lost their game. Still stayed in the top 10, though. Lost to the number 1 team in the state. And Grayson, by the way, the number 5 team in the nation. Number 1 in the state of Georgia, number 5 in the country. Rabun Gap forced a bunch of turnovers last week and only lost by 5. And we were talking to their coaches before the game. They felt like they should have won that game. They had an opportunity late, just couldn't convert, finally gave it over on downs, but they were that close to pulling off an upset last week. Tie football game at the end of a quarter at 7-7.
Fast moving first quarter.
That always breaks my heart. It'll be first down at the 36-yard line. 37-yard line. First and 10, 37-yard line, Red Raiders football. Briggs Cherry. Hit by 3. You might just spy him. You would almost have to, wouldn't you?
I know he is the defensive line key for most of this first half. Where he goes,
point. Yeah.
Some folks follow.
Mox football coach Rusty Wright always says we want our players to have their eyes in the right place. He's mentioned that, eyes in the right place. I think I'd just focus on that 0. Send in the linebacker that time. So he gets past 1. Look at those eyes. Your eyes are looking at the back of David Gabriel Georges for a 63-yard touchdown.
Jim, Zeke Marshall had the angle from his free safety spot. He was even with him. And then David Gabriel Georges hit that extra gear, and it was a touchdown.
So they tried a little bit of a blitz, sent the linebacker, but that means once that linebacker went in and David Gabriel Georges got past him, there were not as many bodies to cut him off, and the result?
Boy, I hope we get to see this on the replay because Zeke Marshall had him, He had the angle on him. He just could not close the deal because number 0 hit the afterburners. And before you know it, his cleats were in the end zone.
So David Gabriel George's first touchdown run 30, that's 63. So on 2 touchdown runs, he has 93 yards. I think he's over 100 already tonight.
Boy, that was impressive. When you see, and Zeke's a good athlete. Free safety, 6'5", senior. Let's watch this. Watch number 1 right here. Had the angle, and look at this. He just pulls away. He can't even get an arm on him. That is what David Gabriel Georges does.
That drive, 75 yards, 4 plays, a minute 40, and David Gabriel George, I'll say it again, I just thought it was really a telling article today by Stephen Hargis in the Times Free Press, just saying that David Gabriel Georges, everything about him is discipline. How he works, practices, his diet is immaculate.
Yeah, we're going to have to work on that.
Hang out with Snicker and Dorito here for a while.
We'll have you eating barbecue and all kind of good stuff. We'll head over to Shuford's in between classes. It's a good thing.
Classes? I always thought it was frustrating for a team. You work so hard and you put together, whatever, an 80-yard drive, and then the other team comes out and they get a 63-yard run, boof. Boy, and then you go, oh my God, why is it so tough for us, so easy for them?
They come right back and move the chains. Jamie and Theodore with a missed tackle, which that opened that play.
Yeah.
You see, Jim, they like to go to the edges with their skill people, and they get rid of the ball quickly, which neutralizes the pass rush. They've been very effective at that.
That's one of those, he looked like he wanted to hand it off to someone and couldn't find anyone again.
Goodness gracious. Gavin Owens, if number 5 is going to try and make a living running like that, I don't know up the middle is the best location. Excuse me, that's a different quarterback. That is Grayson Clary, the sophomore, number 3.
Little high snap, rush, pass complete.
That's a nice throw.
It's Joshua Buckhalter who made that catch.
They took advantage of the cushion that they had on Buckhalter. That was an easy, nice big window to throw to. And they moved the chains again. Again, Jim, this is a very well-functioning offense.
It just looked calm.
That's a great, yes, absolutely.
Both quarterbacks have good fake, but not great results at time.
Jamie and Theodore in there on the tackle.
Grayson Clary is 6'3", 210. And a sophomore. Replacing Gavin Owens, 6'4", 207 senior. So second down, about 8 yards to go. Up the middle, breaking 1, breaking 2, caught from behind, but another Rabun Gap first down.
Jordan Lindo, he signals first down. He gets out of bounds. He's done a nice job on the ground tonight. That was a well-blocked play.
Yeah, Lindo has the touchdown that Rabun Gap scored a moment ago.
This is the tempo I'm talking about. It's slower.
Yeah.
Than the quick tempo you see. Doesn't allow the defense to substitute.
Pulls it back, line of scrimmage, pass caught, 5-yard gain, 6-7, and a flag comes late.
That looks like it's Royce with the catch. And we got a lineman upset for the Eagles, which leads me to believe that could be a holding call.
hold or downfield maybe.
Royce Jugim with the reception.
77, offense. Holding, offense. Number 77, 10-yard penalty, spot of foul. Replay first down.
Wilson Zaire, the senior.
Yeah, Rabun Gap offensive line, not as big as Baylor's offensive line. But that doesn't mean they don't have some size. Nice stiff arm right there. And they have a nice 1-2 punch in the running back department.
Grayson Clary at the quarterback spot has done a nice job.
Second down, have to make up some yards after the penalty. Scrambling, finding some room, and
good decision, young
always
man.
Always a good decision. That's good. That's
Boy,
right.
you know, it's so tempting, Jim, for a quarterback, especially, you know, Grayson comes in kind of in relief here. Boy, wanted to force something down the middle of the field, rolled to his left. There wasn't anything there, and made a nice decision. They were barreling down on him, the Baylor defensive line. Which brings up 3rd down and 10. No, more. 3rd and 18, excuse me.
Have to get inside the 30-yard line to pick up a first down. Up in the air, has a receiver.
Oh, man, that is close. That ball was thrown a long way. Number 3's got a nice arm.
Yeah, when you have to throw that not sideline to sideline per se, but that's from the hash mark to that sideline, over the shoulder, over the outside shoulder catch.
C.J. Willingham made a nice catch there, but his foot was out of bounds at the time he caught the football. And this is an interesting punt formation here. Baylor calls a timeout. That is so they had 5 players to the far sideline.
Timeout, Baylor. That is their second charged half-time timeout.
So the Red Raiders used their second timeout with 8 minutes left in the half. That was, you don't see that punt formation very often.
I'm a big fan of taking a timeout in a situation like that.
If you don't like the way it looks.
Some coaches hang on to them like they're uranium or something. I just never quite understood. You got a problem? They always say the game turns on 4 or 5 plays, and you never know when those 4 or 5 plays are coming. And if you're not sure.
Same thing for the Eagles. So you've got a center, 2 up men, a kicker, 1 gunner on the near sideline, and you've got 4 people to the top of the screen. Now they're going to bring them in.
Yeah. That may be one of those, if you're the punter, coaches will say, if you see this, then you can go for it. If you don't get the exact look you want, punt the thing away.
Line drive kick. Colby Barrett
stops and starts and stops and starts and returns it to about the 28 or 29-yard line.
I think you're right, Jim. They wanted a certain look. They didn't get it. So Joshua Buckhalter made that kick. It was a line drive, but it was well covered.
To the 28. Red Raiders lead it by a touchdown, 14-7. 7:58, as you can see, to play in the first half. A very comfortable night on the banks of the Tennessee River here on the Baylor campus. Briggs Cherry throws a quick one with a receiver in front of him, and then Good block on that far side by Caden Dewey, picking up a first down. Starting at the 28-yard line. Let's see where they spot this. I think they're going to spot around the 47.
So Baylor goes to the edge.
Right.
Well blocked play.
Pick up 19.
And they move the chains quickly. And the key to that one, especially after that long touchdown run, the play action faked to David Gabriel Georges. Froze the defense.
Ball on the ground. Whistle blows.
Ball start. Offense. Number 14. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, that was out of whack from the beginning, I think.
Judah Smith they're going to call for offsides there.
Yeah, senior receiver had the snap count wrong. Then they tried to quick snap it to keep up with him, but didn't work out right. 1st and 10 becomes a 1st and 15. Back at the 42-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 right man in motion near side. That's the tight end, Rain. Cherry sets up the screen near side and hit near midfield. So they got the penalty back and 2 or 3 more yards. Going to put it at the Baylor 49-yard line, so a gain of 7. 2nd down and 8. Two straight home games to begin the season for the Red Raiders. Cherry drops back, rolls out near side, being chased, pump fakes once, throws on the sideline, and again, you throw it where only your man can get it, and there's the tight end we talked about a little bit earlier, Braxton Rain.
Braxton Rain, boy, Cherry had to wait for him, though, to get to that window. He waited and waited, and then threw a strike at the last moment, and number 18 reeled it in.
Briggs Cherry is senior.
Well, that time they were all over.
He did as
number
much
0.
shake and bake as he could, right?
Yeah, there was nowhere to go. He was surrounded by refrigerators.
And picks up a yard. 2nd down 9. Baylor on the Rabun Gap 40-yard line. I'm just saying, Briggs Cherry waiting for that play to develop. That's what separates seniors from sophomores. And he's taken a lot of snaps in that Red Raider uniform. I think on a play like that, it shows. Not spectacular, but just good enough for a first down. Going the other way. Ball caught. A little bit of a dangerous catch, right?
Boy, that time they had Braxton Rain in motion, not in motion, but he cut across, and you thought that would free him up, and instead they went the other way.
To Caden Dewey. Who brings it down to the 37-yard line, but it sets up a third and about 5.5 or 6 yards. Another nice crowd. I think the crowds,
I think so too,
in the first 2 games have been really respectable. And Rabun Gap.
I was going to say a decent group on their sideline.
Talking to their coaches.
Timeout. Rabun Gap.
They said it's only
the second charge timeout of the half.
A 3-hour drive. And again, that's a team that travels well. And they expect to win, and they've got a good program. And so again, I commend the folks from Rabun Gap. And they were talking about the picturesque drive through the Ocoee. Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to do it on a bus. I'll just tell you that.
I was going to say, yeah, that's
that might be a little dicey.
That's a little bit of a different animal.
I've been with the Mocs to Western Carolina through the gorge on occasion. So you just close your eyes and go to sleep. So Eric Kimry calls a timeout for the Red Raiders.
That's his last one. With 6:37 left.
You can see that crowd, that Baylor crowd.
Which kind of tells you just how important he feels like this series is, this possession.
At Brentwood Academy, a big early season game for the Red Raiders. Next week, next Friday.
Boy, what a dart, and he got just enough. Caden Dewey, boy, they show screen to DGG, and he threw a strike to Caden Dewey.
In traffic with
you know what,
short
Jim?
window.
They're going to mark him down. They're going to mark him short, so that brings up fourth and less than a yard.
I don't even have to think about this. I don't think. Right?
They're not thinking about it. Wow.
Well, let's go I formation under center. Yeah.
There
I didn't
you
have
go.
to think about that either.
That's
Did you call that one?
yes.
Converting on
That's
fourth
outstanding.
down.
Boy, it's rare that you see just a straight old school
I formation. Tailback, fullback, quarterback under center.
That's the Ford F-150 of football formations right there.
Maybe Model T, I'm not sure. Down to the 27-yard line for a first down. Caden Dewey going wide to the left side.
One of the few balls that Briggs Cherry has overthrown that might have been a miscommunication with Jamie and Theodore. In any case, they start this possession, this series, with an incompletion.
I just see Caden Dewey getting one-on-one coverage, and there was no safety help that time. I thought for sure that ball would be going to the left side. Instead, it went the other way. 2nd and 10 at the 27-yard line. Red Raiders up by only a touchdown. Gabriel Georges once again. Not quite a first down, but it will set up third down and about a yard to go. So that's another 9-yard pickup. David Gabriel Georges over 100 yards easily so far tonight. His 2 touchdown runs have given him 93. He's got a 30-yard score and a 63-yard score so far tonight, accounting for the 2 Red Raider touchdowns. Cherry directing traffic once again. Oh, let's do it again.
Not real fancy. We have a flag down.
See what the flag's all about. Obviously, it's on Baylor. And I guess it'll be a hold.
Holding. Offense. Number 99. 10-yard penalty. Previous spot. Replay. Third down.
They're going to call that on Jaden Arenas Michelle.
And that happened in a hurry. Sometimes when you get your hands outside, that's when the holding calls occur. So third down again, but now a longer way to go. About 11.
Oh, wow.
Cherry with
Trouble
time.
here.
Oh, you're not going to see that very often.
That's a big-time play right there. That's a big-time play. Looks like Marcellus Casario. Sorry, Shaggy Alexander, excuse me.
And Shaggy's just a sophomore.
Shaggy was not in a good mood when he got to the quarterback either.
Briggs Cherry again was just waiting for someone to break open.
He didn't have time to really look too closely. He saw number 80 barreling down. He just bull rushed his way into that sack.
Well, everyone knows you don't mess with Shaggy now. Don't. Red Raiders punted away. So Rabun Gap.
Jim, they got a chance here with 3:49 left. tie this football game.
I was going to say, Baylor has punted twice tonight so far. Last week they had that string of scoring on the first 9 series or whatever it was.
It felt that way.
Yeah. So Rabun Gap. And again, earlier on they were using that quick passes almost exclusively. Then they kind of branched things out a little bit more.
Wow.
There's a nice defensive play by the Red Raiders. Finally getting to the quarterback, Emery Julien.
Emery Julien, yes, sir.
For negative yards, or negative yard, I guess I should say. 2nd down and 11.
And the Eagles go back to Gavin
I was
Owens at
gonna say,
quarterback.
Owens back in the lineup.
He's got a man wide open, and they're going to tie the football game.
Down to the 10 and a touchdown.
Isaac Obrakta, the senior. Boom.
Someone missed an assignment, or a receiver just got a linebacker on him, did a stop and go, and made big things happen.
Stop and go, caught and went.
So a quick score for the Eagles at the 3-0 with 3:04 left to play in the second quarter, and an extra point away from tying up the football game. That's 81 yards. As they went back to their number 1 quarterback, Gavin Owens.
That's something they diagnosed on tape, because they were going one place and one place only with that football, and he was absolutely wide open.
81 yards, Gavin Owens to Isaac Obrakta to tie the game with the extra point, now tied 14-14. 80 yards, 2 plays, 45 seconds.
So they've been methodical. That time they were explosive.
Yeah, I would say their whole philosophy on offense, they've mixed things up well, right?
They've used different quarterbacks. They've different receivers. They've worked on different
Cadence,
parts of the field.
They've gone fast. They've gone slow. And we're involved in a 14-14 football game.
Yes.
The number 1 team in the state of Tennessee and the number 7 team in the state of Georgia. You know what? We got us a football
good
game.
one.
We got us a football game. And the matchups that we've seen between these two teams, this is the 3rd time we've seen Rabun Gap.
Always seem to come down to the 4th quarter.
I was going to say, they have been extremely competitive. And they've done that a couple of times, not wanting to give up a big return, but Baylor will take over, and there's time.
I think the difference, Jim, is, boy, you can want to do a lot of things, but they have executed.
Yeah. So the Red Raiders, they have time with 3:02 to play in the first half.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. But no timeouts remaining, correct?
Right. Which
that's rarely a factor.
I don't know that we've seen that.
I was going to say, rarely a factor in the first half, but it may be right here.
In the 2+ years we've had the privilege of doing these games, I don't think they've ever been into the. It's rare they use all their timeouts in a half.
Yeah. From the 35-yard line with trips to the near side. You see the 3 receivers. Briggs Cherry hands it off and goes to the other side, and not a whole lot there.
Nope. Look, as good as number 0 is, they are committed to making him work as hard as possible.
Ran into that linebacker, the junior number 7, Prace Chain. Gains a couple to the 37. 2nd down and 8. 2.5 minutes to play in the first half of the Tigers. High snap.
Oh, this is trouble.
Cherry does the wise thing again.
I was
Again,
gonna say.
not the spectacular thing, but the smart thing.
Yes.
High snap. How many times have you seen a quarterback try to scoop that thing up and then a defensive back is there and someone's able to steal the football away? Most coaches will say just fall on the football and live to fight another day.
And now, all of a sudden, Jim, it's 3rd down and 18.
Yeah,
under 2 minutes to go.
You just lost 10 yards. Cherry throwing it long. Over the middle. Burst of speed.
Wow. Wow.
How about
Jamie
that?
Theodore. And that lights up this crowd.
As it should.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't see.
That ball was up in the air, and you could see him.
That was double coverage.
He put it in another gear and caught up to that football, extending himself and making the catch to the 25-yard line.
Biggest play of the first half
That's
for a lot of different reasons.
That's a 48-yard gain with the ball in the air that whole time. 48 yards from 27 to 25. Yow. Let's go near side.
Protect the football.
Kane Dewey will tell you, you know what I did? I didn't look it in. I took my eyes off the football, and that ended up costing him.
That stops the clock. That's the only way Baylor can stop the clock. They're out of timeouts, 1:08 left in the half.
It's been a while since I've seen a 48-yard gain on a pass that did not have yards after catch.
Yes.
That was in the air, 48 yards, diving catch.
And into
no
double coverage.
Yes.
Into double coverage.
And you could tell he all of a sudden put it in sprint. Briggs Cherry still looking. Dumps it off underneath. Look at that. Didn't go down on the first man.
And he attracts 3 defensive players constantly. Now you're back in a 3rd and somewhat manageable, 3rd and long. They're going to call it 6. And the clock's running. That's good. They're going to call offsides there.
It seemed that was taking a long time.
Yes.
So the
false start.
The play clock was running down.
Number 8, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And a lot of times an offensive lineman, you see that play clock as well. You get a little twitchy. You go,
yes.
It's going to have to come in the next 2 or 3 seconds, right?
Well,
you want to fire off the ball.
Colby Barrett turned on the turbos a little early.
Yeah. So now 3rd and 6 becomes 3rd
and the clock
and
is
11.
running.
Timeout, Baylor. That is their last charge timeout of the half.
So I didn't think they had one.
I didn't either.
But you hear him say Mayday field goal?
Right. First time this season we've seen special teams kind of have to function in a bit of a pressure situation. Yeah. They had a short kick out of their end zone. Now this will be a field goal.
It'll be about 43 yards. Somewhere in that neck of the woods.
Sam Shutters, the kicker. Charlie Silberman, the senior long snapper.
So from the 27, about 43, 44 yards. Let's see where he sets up.
They're not going to kick. They're going to go.
Called field goal, not field goal. Change your plans. Change your plans, boys and girls. 3rd and 11. Calling a hold.
Yeah, they're going to call a hold. Briggs with the spin around back to his left, and I think that may have put his offensive line in a bad situation. In any case, they're going to move the sticks back. Now what do you do, Jim?
Do I decline the penalty, maybe? Seriously.
If you're Rabun Gap?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. That's yeah.
Force a fourth down and and say, okay, try your 50-yard field goal and see what happens.
Holding. Offense. Number 67. 10-yard penalty. Previous spot.
That's on
replay. Third down.
That's on the Junior Maddox McClure.
I was watching that. I didn't think it was a hold.
No, it's going to he threw it. He threw the ball. He threw the ball. He threw the ball. He threw the ball.
I saw him. I saw him throw the ball.
Four wide. They covered the field. Third and a bunch.
About 21, I think.
Oof.
Nice
Boy,
break on the
that was
football.
a dangerous pass.
That was dangerous in the fact of
it
he would have been
floated,
able to pick
there.
that off, he'd still be running. Nelson Coleman, a sophomore corner.
I'm surprised he didn't go after that football. He must have just not seen it because it seemed to float. He was looking for Theodore, and it looked like the ball held there forever.
He had some closing speed on that. Ended up tapping it away. He'd have made a catch. He would have been running on the sideline uncontested. Fourth down with 8 seconds to play. So you might as well go to the end zone here, right? You said, I'm not going to, I don't have a timeout left. Cherry rolls out near side. Throws it long in the end zone. There it is. That's Rain, the tight end. Braxton Rain with a touchdown catch.
Wow.
From 36 yards out. All you could do was go to the end zone, and the Red Raiders score with zeros on the clock.
Shades of Max LeBlanc. He posted up in the far corner of the end zone. Briggs got loose, hung that thing up there, and Braxton Rain came down with a football. Wow.
Well, you knew they were going to go in the end zone because you would have no time to run another play. Braxton Rain with his first touchdown reception.
Halftime.
For the Red Raiders, not a bad way to end the half, right?
My goodness, they convert an incredible 49-yard completion. Then with 8 seconds left, Briggs Cherry, under serious duress,
36 yards,
throws a 36-yard strike, which we'll see in just a moment. Now you see him roll to his right, and he just hangs this thing up there. Look at Braxton. He just high-pointed the football.
Wow.
With both hands. Great catch, great position, great throw, touchdown, Baylor.
And the coverage was good. It's not like he was wide open. As you mentioned, he just outleaped and he knew where the ball was coming.
Man, he went up early and got it at its highest peak. That's a big drive for the Red Raiders.
To take the lead at halftime on a play like that, on a drive that wasn't great. You had a penalty situation, couple. You had to overcome that. Red Raiders able to do that. Here's how the night got started, and it's always a good way to go.
David Gabriel Georges, 30 yards on the touchdown, 3 plays, 61 yards, 7-0. And we're going to see this again. How about this one? What a cutback to his right. 63 yards in a hurry. That makes it 14-7. They go 75 yards in 4 plays. Rabun Gap would answer to tie the game at 14. And look at this catch by Jamie and Theodore. Almost triple coverage, full extension. Holds on, reels it in. They call that a catch, and it's a big-time first down. And then watch Briggs Cherry to close out the half. No time left on the clock. Braxton Rain, the high point, 2-hand grab, touchdown, and it's 21-14.
21-14, scoring with zeros on the clock to end a very entertaining first half. 21-14, Red Raiders the number 1 team in the state of Tennessee, leading the number 7 team in the state of Georgia. 21-14, and now let's enjoy halftime.
Welcome to the Baylor Banter with Mary Holmes.
Yeah, that's perfect. Hey y'all, so I'm here with girls head cross country coach
Amanda Cotter.
So I'm going to be asking some questions today. So what are you most excited for this cross country season?
It's my first season, so I'm just excited to be a part of the legacy and see how the kids do. I'm also coaching with my husband, so that's kind of fun, and get to just kind of watch them grow.
What's one goal you'd like to see the team achieve before the end of the season?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would like to beat GPS at state. I'd like to beat them very much, actually. But really, I just want them all to have fun.
How do you help your runners stay motivated during like long meets or practices?
Yeah, so we talked a lot about like having their own reason for running and making sure that they're achieving their own personal goals, because they don't want to run if it's just for me or just for Mr. Cotter. So we all have our why, which is what we've talked about a lot. So.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yep. Always a pleasure.
Official.
Yeah, thanks. So today I'm here with 5 of the cross country senior runners. So what has been your favorite and least favorite part of training thus far?
My favorite has been when we had our cross country camp at the Ocoee. That was really great. Everyone got to spend time together. Lots of hard trainings were good. My least favorite part has definitely been the 3:30 August heat.
So my favorite part is definitely camp, and then also just like after practice, hang out with the team and stuff. Least favorite part is probably having to wake up at like 5:20 and run, and later in the day run again.
My favorite part, we did a hill workout. It was really fun, and I don't have a least favorite part.
Oh, so you're
That's
different.
awesome. What motivates you to keep pushing through a race?
Probably just like the food after. If like I'm in the middle of a race, got like a mile left, we usually go to like Chipotle after races, and so I'm just thinking about that to like get me through.
A post-race ice cream always gets me going. Yeah, like a smoothie. Yeah. Oh.
What's one personal goal you've set for yourself this season?
I would say mine is to just spend more time with the team. Yeah. I don't know, senioritis is hitting pretty hard recently. Have a great senior year, last one with my girls.
Mine's probably just to keep running well, probably like good PR too.
Probably go to NXN, have fun, enjoy.
Thank you for your time today.
Run fast.
Thanks for tuning in to Baylor Banter. I'm your host, Mary Holmes Phillips. See you next time.
Jim Reynolds, Craig Cecil, we get ready for the second half of this game as Baylor scored on their first possession. Baylor scored on their last possession. Both spectacular in each instance, and David Gabriel Georges scored one in between there. 21-14, Baylor with the lead, and 2 touchdown runs for David Gabriel Georges, a 30-yard run, a 63-yard run, and a pretty spectacular 36-yard touchdown reception by Braxton Rain to end the first half and break a 14-14 tie.
Jim, if you had to really look at the first half, Rabun Gap was solid. Played 2 different quarterbacks, 2 different running backs. Baylor at times spectacular. 2 unbelievable highlight reel plays at the end of the second quarter, especially the catch by Jamie and Theodore. They pull out all the stops to take a 7-point lead as we head to the third quarter, and Baylor will kick off, and the Eagles of Rabun Gap will start the third quarter on offense.
Yeah, maybe that decision to defer doesn't look
Looks
so
a
bad.
little better
Yeah,
now.
a little bit better, although Baylor did score in their first possession. So many times over the last several years, Baylor's gotten the football first and scored in that first possession. Many teams have then had to play uphill after that. But we have a 1 touchdown, 1 possession game. Very different than the situation we were in a week ago. Baylor on the road at Brentwood Academy next week, and the next home game will be on September 12th. So Red Raiders kick to start the second half. Field down on about the 6 or 7. Good coverage that time.
Walker Bryson with a return, and Baylor swarms short of the 20-yard line.
Yeah. And the third quarter underway.
Baylor defense would like to turn up the heat pressure-wise. It's just hard to do against this Eagle offense because they tend to get rid of the ball quickly.
We have seen 2 quarterbacks by the Eagles, and this is Gavin Owens. Good coverage by the Red Raiders. Not fooled by that play out of the backfield.
Solid defense. That was Jordan Lindo with the reception, but it gains virtually nothing.
Trying to dump off a pass out of the backfield and actually losing a yard. 2nd and 11. Back at the 18-yard line. Second half underway. Baylor with a 1 touchdown lead, scoring with zeros on the clock to end the first half.
Again, the Eagles get the play, go to the wrist guards. A deliberate start to this series.
Owens pulls it back, and
that's the heat
yes.
they've been looking for. Emory Julian and Jaden Arenas Michelle combined for the sack.
First they cut off the passing lane, then they cut down the quarterback. He loses yards and now facing a 3rd down and about 15. So a flare pass out of the backfield for a loss of 1, then a sack for a loss of a lot more. 3rd down and long. Now, here's where it gets dangerous if you're Rabun Gap, and the fact that this is going to be a slower developing play. Being chased. Throws on the run.
Got a man.
Arm strength. Wow. Was that a Tim Tebow jump pass?
My goodness, what a throw. Joshua Buckhalter. Boy, you thought Baylor might get a hand on that football. Referees having a discussion at the 30-yard line.
But I don't see any flags down.
I don't either.
He jumped and used all the arm strength, and I have to say I've been impressed with the arm strength of the senior quarterback, Gavin Owens.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 5. The results of the play stand. We will mark off 15 yards from the succeeding spot. Back, first down.
And that's on the quarterback.
They're going to call Gavin Owens for unsportsmanlike conduct.
You don't think he might have said something?
I didn't see it, but to be honest, I was watching the football. And he is trying to explain himself to the official right now. Boy, that's a big penalty, Jim.
Yeah, it moves the football back actually in Rabun Gap territory at the 49. Still a tremendous play.
Yes.
And tremendous arm strength.
Extends the drive
and he almost got sacked. He escaped and probably let someone know about that. Stutter step 40 and driven out of bounds around the 38-yard line.
That's a nice run by Jordan Lindo.
Which would be another first down.
He just weaved his way through open space, and now they go quick.
Mark it at the 40, 1st and 10. That was a nice run. So both quarterbacks have been good. Both the running backs, and we talked so much about Royce to begin the game, but this guy's not bad either. Gang tackled before he can reach the 35-yard line, but maybe gains about 4.
Nice push from the offensive line.
First down play of 3.5. Again, positive yards on first down. Haven't been many negative plays on first down for either team. Try the run game again. Good pursuit, dragging him down at the outside. Good job that time by the Red Raiders. Corey Faulkner, the outside linebacker. And again, not a lot of linebackers have that kind of speed where they can track down the running back out of the backfield before he makes his cut upfield.
Baylor making a lot of substitutions defensively on a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, interesting, kind of a tough play call. That kind of tweener land. You can run and get 4, yeah, but you might see a short dump off right here. They're going with the run game and don't get it. Chop down in a hurry.
Jim, you feel like after what we've seen in the first half, they're in 4-down territory. Let's see what they do here.
I think Keaton Whaley moved from his linebacker spot and chopped him down inside the 35 and around the 34-yard line.
Yeah, they leave the quarterback on the field.
So it's still 4th down and about 4. 4th down and 4. You don't think this would be quick kick territory?
Injury timeout.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Baylor player that's down.
And quickly up.
Looks like Keaton Whaley.
Yeah, it is Whaley. So a 4th down play forthcoming, and I would say a pretty important 4th down play.
I would call this one substantial here in the 3rd. 8 minutes, 30 seconds left in the 3rd.
But again, look at Rabun Gap has done something tonight. Not a lot of teams, obviously it's only game 2, so not a lot of teams are going to be able to do on the Red Raiders, and that's their time of possession's been pretty good.
Outstanding, and they've been very methodical.
Sometimes.
For the most part.
Yeah. And I think part of that game plan was winning time of possession. Play keep away as much as you can. 4th and 4.
Boy, now Baylor saw something they didn't like, and they'll call a timeout. Basically, the injury was a built-in timeout for the Eagles.
Baylor. That is their first charge timeout of the half.
These two coaches, Derek White from Rabun Gap and Eric Kimry, they've played this chess match before, haven't they?
They have.
Faced each other when both of them were in South Carolina. And both these schools in similar situations. Meaning we talked to the coaching staff from Rabun Gap before the game, and they were just saying, no one wants to play us. And if you ask the Red Raiders and their coaching staff, say, yeah, we can relate to that. No one wants to play us. And It's really been, I think, a really good series between the two schools.
And, you know, the beauty of this game, Jim, is it's not going to affect either team's season in terms of chasing the goals they want to chase, especially Baylor. This game has no bearing on the playoffs, maybe on the rankings, but not the Tennessee postseason.
So Baylor going 3-man front on 4th down. He is going for it. Underneath, pass complete. That should be enough for a 1st down and more.
Joshua Buckhalter has done an outstanding job tonight of taking good vision and explosiveness.
Yeah, that's a great word because I think his acceleration has been outstanding so far. 1st down, 17-yard line. Up the middle with some running room.
Now they go big back. They go back to Royce Jugim again.
And he brings it down to the 7. They'll tempo right here, go quickly. Pulls it back. Just down to the goal line.
When you get rid of the ball that quickly, those receivers basically are downfield blockers.
That was Obrakta. Second and goal. Oh.
What a fantastic fake by Gavin Owens. Goodness gracious.
They got the running back. He didn't make the end zone.
No.
He didn't have the ball either. The senior quarterback, he's 6'4", 207. So he could take a little contact and move the pile a little bit, but that was all done when you faked that handoff. Quarterback brought it back, and we're getting ready for a tie football game once again. First drive of the second half for Rabun Gap is a good one. Are they going
Once again, they're doing a lot of shifting with the kicking game.
Nah. I thought for a moment, I said, wow, are they going to go for 2? Nope. Take the time. Yeah, check all that wind we have here tonight. High snap.
Terrible snap. Great
shot.
hold
Yep.
to reel that back in and point it for the kicker.
Don't look now. But we're knotted once again in the third quarter. And that, look at that. They took not half the quarter.
A big chunk.
But after the kickoff, took possession at the 11:53 mark and score at the 7:34 mark. So that's time of possession, which we talked about. That's 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So close to midway third quarter, Baylor will get their hands on the football for the first time in this second half. Nice drive, 81 yards, 420. And Rabun Gap ran 11 plays. And the quarterback, Gavin Owens.
Made a fantastic completion to really kind of set the table. How about Joshua Buckhalter? Man, has he made some plays
Yes,
tonight.
he has. So Rabun Gap scored a touchdown first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Baylor's going to get their hands on the football for the first time in this second half. Baylor scored a touchdown on the opening possession to start the game and scored the last touchdown of the first half with zeros on the clock. It's from the tight end. Braxton Rain made a great reception in the end zone on the final play of the first half. Pretty good kickoff. First down and 10. Red Raiders take over. 7:34 to play in the third quarter in a tie football game. What a nice night. You and I have done some games in August where we lost a few pounds during the game.
Yes.
Which
this feels more like October.
Yeah. Briggs Cherry is going the distance at quarterback. Well rested, picks up 5, picks up 10, picks up 15, 16.
Well, he's mad at himself. He really he thought he could break that one, but as it is, it's an outstanding gain on first down. They move the chains, and Baylor's going to run a little tempo.
1st and 10, 37-yard line. 17 more yards. And a first down. He accelerated on that near side when he turned the corner. That's why he thought that. Let's try it again. Middle of the line this time, and still picks up yardage across the 40 to the 42, about a 5-yard pickup on that first down play.
Shaggy Alexander, part of the tackle that time for the Eagles.
Up to the 43, so a gain of 6.
Boy, you just didn't. It seemed like a 2-yard gain, but.
Hand off on the end around, so you give some ground. Actually, gets back to the line of scrimmage. But
Jim, that's a nice job by the Eagle defense. Big Isaac Lakumi, the freshman, 6'2", 270 from the nose. They stayed at home and swallowed that play up. Colby Barrett with the keeper, and they were waiting for him.
Yeah, that's a slow developing play. When you give ground, then you have to turn the corner on the other side. Some teams can't handle that, but a team that has some team speed, like Rabun Gap. Big third down play right here. Third down, about 3.5. Cherry rolls out, throws on the run. Just threw it a little bit in back of the intended receiver, incomplete pass.
That was great anticipation by Briggs Cherry. He knew he was under duress, rolled to his right. He really wanted Hank Gennaro, but just a little too much. That football a little too hot for Hank to reel in. It was impressive that he found such an open spot in that defense to throw to.
I agree. Backside pursuit. When you got speed at that position, force quarterback out of the pocket, make him move that pocket and throw on the run. Not quite as accurate.
So Baylor with 1 first down and then a 3 and out.
I think this is the 3rd punt of the night for the Red Raiders. Oh, takes a friendly roll. Let's see if the Eagles do something with it. Look at that. Still on his feet.
Watch out. Watch out.
Uh-oh.
Watch out. Sam, well, he's going to go the distance.
How about that? He was cooped up about 3 different times.
Joshua Buckhalter has put on a show. Boy, it was amazing he could field the football cleanly. Thought they had him at about the 30-yard line.
They had him dead to rights twice.
He had a wall of blockers to his right. Once he found them, he was off to the races. Sam Shutters had a shot at him late, the kicker, but he was outgunned. Joshua Buckhalter, number 17.
He's had a great game tonight. He's outstanding. And again, he was stacked up dead to rights once, and then somehow he escaped the crowd on that far sideline. You could hear the oohs and ahs on that far sideline. The visitors were saying, wow.
All of a sudden, the Eagles have popped 2 touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter. They now lead at 28-21. I don't know how long that return was. It felt like it took forever. Well, you thought when he reeled that football in, he'd be lucky just to hold on to it.
Big plays on special teams. How important is that?
Yes. The Eagles did it last week to Grayson.
Yeah.
Blocked a kick, tackled the punter before he could kick the football.
There's some stunned silence going on here, isn't there?
A little pressure on the Baylor offense here. Thing is, though, Jim, there's 5:23 left in this quarter. Plenty of time here. in the second half.
When I walk up here and I talk to our members of the crew, the fantastic crew we have, they always said, JR, running clock in the second half or no? I go, not tonight. Not tonight against this bunch. Full spin across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Baylor trying to grab some momentum back with 5:15 to play in the third quarter, and don't look now, but the Eagles have taken a 1-touchdown lead. Rabun Gap, Georgia. 1st and 10 at the 37.
So what have the Eagles done to slow down the Baylor offense? They've gotten pressure on Briggs Cherry. They've managed to contain David Gabriel Georges.
And again, the word contain for him is in a different ballpark. They've done that.
Yes.
Briggs Cherry doesn't feel uncomfortable very many times, just to be honest. But they have forced him out of the pocket. We saw him last week just stand, and you give a quarterback as much time as he had last week, he'll find a receiver. But he's been out of that comfort zone a few times tonight, forced from the pocket, including in that situation. Incomplete pass.
They have done a great job on first down defensively.
2nd down and 10. Nice move up to the 40-yard line.
That's a positive gain. Easy throw to Caden Dewey. They got him on the edge.
You're going to spot Caden Dewey out at the 39-yard line, making it 3rd down and 3. David Gabriel Georges, the 1st down and a lot more. Backpedals his way.
And I'll tell you what, that
not
was
quite to midfield.
That got the crowd up. That was a violent run on both sides. He absorbed a lot of contact and dealt out some contact.
Try it again. Gabriel Georges turns the corner near side. Now, he says he wasn't down, and you know what? He did kind of roll off the defender. I'm not sure if a knee or elbow hit.
Man, let's credit Zeke Marshall. He was part of that long touchdown by DGG earlier. This time he came barreling in from his free safety spot and went low to stop that play.
2nd down. Cherry again, uncomfortable and sacked. 2nd sack of the night for Rabun Gap.
That's Marcellus Casario. That's a blown assignment. He just blew right through the Baylor offensive line. Tremendous sack. This is 3rd and a bunch here.
From the 47 back to the 42. So you just lost about 11 yards on that sack. And again, he came through there unmolested, and Briggs Cherry didn't have a chance. 3rd down long. Screen pass. Oh, that was set up nicely. Got to beat one. Couldn't quite do so.
Here's the great thing about that defensively for Rabun Gap. They did draw in the defensive line, but the linebackers stayed at home, and they were there to slow that play down. Now you've got a 4th down and 7.
Yeah, it's a...
And they're going to bring on Sam Shutters to kick.
But again, a lot of Baylor games, we don't see that battle for field position very often. But we've seen it a few times magnified tonight. And I think one of the times is right here. Baylor thinking we'll pin them deep. Could go for it on 4th, but it's still 4th and 7, as you said.
Sam fielded a bad snap, gets away a good kick.
Somewhere around the 10 or 11 or 12-yard line.
Special teams.
So Rabun Gap,
a factor.
14 points in his 3rd quarter, and they'll get a 3rd possession with 2:51 to play in quarter number 3. First and 10 Eagles, and yes, it did go out at the 13-yard line. 13-yard line. So all things considered, with not a great snap, Eagles start at the 13-yard line. Little pitch. Trying to turn the corner on a pitch sweep to the far side. Gavin Owens started the game. Took a series or two off, and he's been on fire so far in this third quarter. Played well. And Jordan Lindo back in the game at that running back spot. See him, number 25. Owens pulls it back. Pump fakes.
He wants to go deep.
Showed a little escapability there.
Nice heady scramble there.
I just want to say, good players can make a 2 or 3 yard gain out of what could have been a 3 or 4 yard loss. He was able to get positive yards, not many, but he avoided the setback there. So now it's third down and about 5. Another big play in this game of field position. Baylor shows blitz. Are they coming? Yes. He slings it, hangs on long enough, gets the completed pass.
Floated that one out. And boy, his receiver was there. Darian Barnes got just enough on that football.
Yes. Before the pressure really came.
Gavin Owens is really well aware of where he is on the football field.
Yes. When they subbed and put the number 2 quarterback, I said, okay. Because I like what he does. He looks like he's in charge. Handoff, you see the running back continue to
and a nice push there.
Turn those legs. Across the 35.
25 Royce Jugim again with a solid carry. That's 4 yards. Clock continues to run.
Second down, 6 yards to go. Rabun Gap has to get to the 42-yard line. Got a block or two in front of him. That's a great job of making up some ground.
Very nice play by Keaton Whaley.
Yeah, he was.
To come in there and submarine, that gained 9. It probably should have gained more.
They attended to him injury-wise a moment ago, but right back in there at full strength.
Third and short now.
Baylor putting a little bit more bulk in their defensive line.
They bring back in Royce Jugim at running back.
He's kind of the bigger back, so that would make sense in a short yard situation. Maybe the final play of the third quarter. Everyone stacks up.
And now the Eagles call a timeout.
Yeah, we were just gonna play a little smash mouth.
That is their first of the half.
So Rabun Gap calls a timeout. They have a third down and 1. With a 1-touchdown lead. Well, I think it's starting to get a little interesting, aren't they?
Yes.
Still with another quarter, 12 minutes and 16 seconds left to play in the game. But these games between these two teams have been
always tight.
Pretty darn competitive the last couple of years that we've seen. Played in the heat on that Sunday afternoon on ESPN last year. The year before that, Rabun Gap came here and came away with a win, shocking the Red Raiders. Now they lead late in the third quarter and face a 3rd and 1. Almost a jump. I don't know. I don't think he did not make it.
No. What a nice recovery by the Baylor defense. Almost got fooled on the hard count, reloaded, and came up with a huge stop on 3rd and short.
He had to get to the 42-yard line. Look at that ball spotted at the 41. Mark that play when the Red Raiders take over on downs. Now you've got a short field. How important was that play? Red Raiders will take over in Rabun Gap territory as the third quarter comes to an end. So Baylor obviously ended the first half with a big play. They end the third quarter, I should say a scoreless third quarter for the Red Raiders with another big play. But a 7-point deficit. Not a lot of schools can do this.
No, no.
I can say I can be entertained.
Yes.
By the Baylor Light Show.
I'm still wondering if they're going to go for it on 4th down here. I do not see the quarterback. Let's see. Well.
Do you need another stop?
Here you go.
Full house. And got the first down.
And you talk about commitment to running the football. Walker Bryson, they had it, everybody. That was a full house, stacked backfield.
Absolutely.
And Walker Bryson wildcatted that thing to a first down.
That was one of those, we're running.
Eagles are serious about that. They want to take control of this football game.
It's only a 1-possession game, but you get points.
And the clock is running.
You make it a 2-possession game, and things become very, very different. So 1st and 10. Hit in the backfield and dropped in the backfield. So
nice job.
One thing we talked about, both teams have done a pretty good job getting positive yards on first down. Burkhalter has been outstanding tonight. With a loss of 1 on first down, 2nd and 11.
Cash Freeman, who usually plays center, was active there on the defensive line that time for the Red Raiders.
2nd down and 11.
Now they go back to, they got Big Gabe Osenda there, 79 on the defensive line. Uh-oh, that's a lateral.
That's a free football. It looked like it was going to be a quarterback draw. Didn't you think so?
Not the best decision there by Gavin Owens. Tried to freelance a little bit that time. Didn't get enough on the football. Just kind of threw a duck up there. And now the Eagles staring down 3rd and 24, a drive where they hope to take control of the game. That play has backfired and then some.
Like I said, I thought the quarterback was going to run. He saw nothing, said, okay, I'll improvise and pitch it to a running back who was not ready. Big play here again. And it's picked. Some running room. Wow, what a change in this football game in the last 2 plays.
Maxim Sukanyako read that. He had a better beat on it than the receiver. Biggest play of the second half for Baylor.
Baylor is a big play-making team. And a short field to the 20-yard line with 9 2:32 remaining.
Got a chance to change the entire complexion of the second half here.
Inside the 20. Let's call it the 19.
Miscommunication between Rabun Gap's quarterback and receiver. The result, interception.
There it is. Goal line.
Are they going to call him down?
Yes, touchdown.
Wow.
What a change of fortunes in a short period of time. It took one play for David Gabriel Georges to score his third rushing touchdown of the night.
Injury timeout.
That was explosive.
Yes.
And violent at the same time.
You talk about a big play. Needed a big play. I just felt like he wasn't going to be denied.
We're going to take a look at 3 plays here back to back. First of all, the sack. Secondly, here comes the pick by Maxim Sukanyako. Look at him break on the football. Fantastic job by number 20. That's going to set the table at the 19-yard line. And watch this run by David Gabriel Georges. The acceleration, he just pounds his way to the goal line. And the result, touchdown, Red Raiders.
Yeah, that was a touchdown. Replay clearly got in the end zone. They were a little slow to signal, I'll put it that way. Okay, you never think, I guess, of going for 2 in this situation, or just throwing it out there.
I just don't think it's too. I think it's too early. Wow.
28-28 time. What a change of fortunes in a short
play.
period of time.
Sudden and spectacular.
That's the definition of complimentary football, right?
I'm telling you. That interception by Maxim Sukanyako. Great hands to hold on to the football. Great anticipation. He knew where the ball was going better than the receiver. C.J. Willingham was the intended receiver.
Baylor's first points of the second half. As I mentioned, Baylor scored with 0s on the clock to end the first half.
And every time it looks like the Eagles have a chance to really put their foot on the throat of the Red Raiders, they come up with a big play, be it a 49-yard catch for a conversion late in the second quarter, the big touchdown to end the second quarter, or the interception by Sukanyako, which led to the touchdown by David Gabriel Georges that has tied this game up at 28. Wow, that is a kick.
A little adrenaline flowing, I think.
So what was the key? The Baylor turned up the heat with their pass rush. They forced a terrible play by Gavin Owens, which changed field position dramatically. That forced the interception, which led to the touchdown. Key to everything, the beginning was the pass rush of the Baylor Red Raiders.
Yeah, they made Owens make some decisions, and a couple of them were bad. The pitch was bad. The throw in the middle of the field was bad.
We've got Gabo Senda in there at nose, number 79.
Pulls it back, pass complete. Did he step out of bounds? Yes.
Excuse me, that is number 71, Charlie Edgeworth, that was in there on the defensive line. So we've got linemen playing both ways for the Red Raiders.
They're going to give him a 3-yard gain to the 23-yard line and make it 2nd down and 7. Stepped out of bounds. Little bit of a delay, and then running room right up the middle.
Boy, that's a big gain for a first down.
I would say early in the game, you weren't seeing Rabun Gap get that kind of running room up the middle, but that time Royce, the sophomore.
Royce Jugim again. Boy, that offensive line did a great job of creating space.
He picked up 10. One-on-one tackling, nice job.
They go up the middle, they go to the edge, they go to the middle, back to the edge again.
They hit the senior receiver Willingham that time, C.J. Willingham. Little one-on-one battle.
He goes out of bounds, which stops the clock. Now they go 3 wide at the top.
On 2nd and 10. Come back to the weak side. Quick pop pass.
Boy, Walker Bryson just so sure-handed, always in the right place.
Picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards. Big play right here on 3rd down, about 4. Rabun Gap has to get across the 43-yard line. Has to get to the 43 to pick up a first down.
Gavin Owens wants to play in desperately.
Head at the line of scrimmage, does not get the 43, stopped around the 41.
Now you got to wonder.
4th and 2.
It's decision time for the Eagles. And they are bringing in some beef. You're going to see that Wildcat again with Walker Bryson.
Yeah, I would say if you're Rabun Gap, you say, you know what?
Why not?
I got a chance to knock off the #1 team. I've got the ball in my hand.
Yes.
It's really 4th and 1.
And the Eagles call the timeout.
So they've done a pretty good job when they've just tried to play smash mouth in short yardage situations, right?
Yes. Jim, as I look at the scoreboard here, they're down to 1 timeout. Baylor has 2. 7:51 left in the game.
I just get the feeling that Rabun Gap thinks the game is now. This is
True.
it. We might be
but
under a minute in their philosophy right now.
I'm just surprised they took that timeout. They must have seen something they didn't like. Interesting to see what we're looking at here, and it looks like
4th down and 1.
Here you go. Walker Bryson, #2 at the Wildcat. They are bringing some serious beef.
That's the same formation, that full house look.
Yes. Big on big.
Yep, got it, and bounced
got
off.
It and more. Watch out.
Bounced off the pack for a touchdown. A 58-yard touchdown run for Walker Bryson on a short yard situation. Hit the pack, bounced off the pack, and went the rest of the way with one of the Red Raiders in tow.
Low center of gravity, just stayed on his feet. Got past that initial wall. What a load of push from his offensive line. 3 backs in front of him in the backfield. He capitalized. Baylor couldn't wrap up and close the tackle. He took it to the end zone. The Eagles have scored 21 points here in the second half.
Here, guy, we got to back you up.
So that drive.
Legal substitution, offense. 12 in the huddle. 5-yard penalty, replay, untimed down.
80 yards, that drive. 6 plays, 1:42. And Walker Bryson going the final 58.
Jim.
On a 4th down and 1.
6 plays, 80 yards after throwing a pick, giving up a quick touchdown on a tie game.
He missed it. Oh, does that leave the door open or not?
How about that illegal substitution penalty?
12 in the huddle, cost you 5 yards, and did that cost you the extra point as well? Look at that. What a...
Wow. What? Is there anything better?
What a great game.
Yes.
So now it's easy to see if you're Baylor. Score a touchdown, kick the extra point, claim a 1-point win, and be happy all night long.
There's just so much time, Jim. 7:40
Sure.
left. And we all know how quickly this offense tends to score.
Well, let's see if the stars come out.
In all honesty, Jim, they've had to work awfully hard. They've only put 7 points on the board here in the second half.
Yeah.
That by virtue of that interception and the 19-yard touchdown run by David Gabriel Georges,
who has scored 3 of them tonight. Field on about the 4. Caden Dewey breaks 1. Brings it up to the 25, 26. 26, 27-yard line is where the Red Raiders will begin this drive with 7:31 left to play in the 4th quarter. Baylor hasn't trailed in the 4th quarter in many games. They mark it at the 27. So those senior guys we talked about, Briggs, Cherry, and others, getting their opportunity right here. 7:31 left. Going wide, looking for that one cut up field. Strung out nicely by Rabun Gap.
Eagles defense solid there. They brought Braxton Rain in motion, brought him back to his original spot. Thought they had him outflanked just a bit, but the Eagles were up to the task. No gain on 1st down.
2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line. Caden Dewey with the catch.
Man, here's the key to that play. It's a nice gain. It was Jamie and Theodore got enough of his man to give Theodore a chance to catch the ball. That was coming in hot.
And a 1st down.
And a much needed 1st down for the Red Raiders.
I agree. Little play action, just held, froze the linebackers for a half a second. Sometimes that's really all it takes. 1st and 10 Red Raiders, 10-yard gain up to the 37.
Second time they've run that play tonight. They send DGG in motion, and then they go to Caden Dewey.
Just got that one block in front of him that time as he picks up 4 yards on 1st down to the 41-yard line. Baylor down by 6. Clock is running with just over 6. 6:16 left to play in the football game. Little stutter step up to the 45-yard line, sets up a 3rd down.
The Eagles thought they had that shut down for little to no gain, but once again, the individual excellence of David Gabriel Georges. 3rd and 3 now.
Yeah, shut down for him and shut down for a normal human being is 2 different things. You hold him to 3 or 4 yards and you're saying, you know what? Good job. Thank you very much.
Jim, they've done a nice job on him tonight.
Yes, they have.
Despite the fact he has 3 touchdowns.
And well over 100 yards. 3rd down.
Uh-oh, flag here.
Bad time for a penalty flag. I think there was movement.
Eagles think it's on Baylor.
Ball start. Offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
That's Xavier Wade, the senior.
But that sure changes your third down philosophy.
Oh, man, does it. Now you got 3rd and 8, which goes from manageable to extremely difficult.
Yeah, 3rd and 3, you can run, you can pass. 3rd and 8, you're throwing the football. 3 receivers on the bottom of your screen. And Briggs Cherry from the gun. Puts it up in the air, looking for a receiver. Through the arms and right in the breadbasket of Caden Dewey.
What concentration by Caden Dewey. Eagles thought they had an interception. It is a tremendous conversion for the Red Raiders.
Now, Caden Dewey has been playing in the shadows of some extremely talented receivers, and it just feels like this year is going to be his year. To the 28-yard line, 1st down and 10 with under 5 minutes to play.
Briggs Cherry changing something at the line of scrimmage. They go to number 0.
A cut.
Great decision.
And down to the 6, a 22-yard pickup. Try it again. Did not get it that time.
And they're going to rule him in. No, they're going to rule him out of bounds. They winded the clock like they wanted to keep running. And it will run.
It is running.
It will run.
Now, at this juncture, I don't know who that favors, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
Oh, didn't see a flag.
Clock continue. Now they stop the clock.
Holding. Offense. Number 8. 10-yard penalty. Previous spot. Replay. 1st down.
That's on Colby Barrett, and that is.
That's a tough penalty right there.
That takes some. Instead of 2nd and 5. 1st and 17.
It's 1st and goal from the 17. Cherry, end zone, look. Well, I thought there's a little push there.
I did too.
Some of the crowd did as well. I thought there was a little push on the corner on the receiver, but no flag. So 2nd and goal from the 17.
In the official's defense, he was right there.
David Gabriel Georges.
That's a fantastic tackle that time.
I was going to say a phrase we don't use very often.
By David Macanzo from his inside linebacker spot.
David Gabriel Georges caught from behind, tackled from behind. 3rd down. Twelve yards away, trailing by 6.
Field goal does you no good here.
As Rabun Gap missed their extra point after their last touchdown that gave them that 6-point lead.
Lots of movement here on the Red Raider line.
Underneath and incomplete.
Macanzo again. Waited, looked like they were in a zone that time and broke on the football. 4th and goal from the 12.
I don't believe anyone's leaving early. Briggs Cherry. Looks, throws,
and they're going to throw a flag, multiple flags. It looks like they're going to call.
Should be an automatic first down.
Praise chain with the defensive pass interference there.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. Penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal. Replay, 4th down.
Excuse me, that's Troy Dotton, the sophomore cornerback.
Not an automatic first down. 4th down again.
They're going to go, but the play happened in the end zone.
I'm with you on this.
So if it happened in the end, wow.
That's what I think as well. I'm only slightly perplexed. Cherry tries again.
Trouble.
Rolls out far side. See, I thought if he would have kept
Another
on going,
flag.
he had an angle.
Another flag.
I think Cherry just should have run that, just to be honest with you.
He went to Theodore that time. I don't know how if the penalty occurred in the end zone.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
I don't know how they don't get a first
Pass
down.
interference. Defense, number 21. Previous spot foul, half the distance. Replay, 4th down.
What in the world? I'm confused.
3-10. Guess I got my college, my pro, and my high school rules jingle jangled somewhere, which does happen. David Gabriel George is up the middle and ties the game.
Can you believe this?
4th touchdown of the night. Red Raiders score with 3:06 left to play in the game and an extra point away from taking the lead.
After not one, but 2 pass interference penalties in the end zone, both of them on 4th down. Man, that was easy.
And the Red Raiders back on top. What a crazy drive of scoring with 3:06 to play in the game. Going 73 yards, 11 plays. They took over at the 7:31 mark, scored at 3:06. So 4 minutes and 25 seconds on the drive, and the extra point, the difference.
He just floated through.
That guy's
for
the difference.
touchdown. Yes, that guy is the difference. So 3:06 left. They have had trouble stopping the Eagles' offense here in the second half.
David Gabriel Georges with 4 touchdowns tonight, and Braxton Rain, the tight end, has the other one. Braxton Rain scored that with zeros on the clock to end the first half.
Step one, make them start at the 20-yard line, which the Red Raiders do, so the Eagles now.
Check. Here's the scenario, 3:06 remaining. 1st and 10, 20-yard line for Rabun Gap. They're in a similar situation just a week ago.
Yes.
Against the number 1 team in Georgia.
And what hurt them was the depth of Grayson. They had a chance to win that under 3 minutes.
Yeah. Had the ball
inside the 30.
Yeah. And needed one more play. 3:06 left. Trying to go wide on the run. That looks like a hole. Up in the air and incomplete. Wow.
Boy, that's a confident quarterback. You're left-handed, so you have a bit of an advantage. You roll to your left, and you just floated that thing and wanted your guy to run under it. Just about pulled it off to the 50-yard line.
He's shown some arm strength already tonight.
All right, they've got a
That
receiver.
is not in question.
Okay. They had a man wide open, not uncovered.
2nd and 10. Again, just looking for a one-on-one matchup right there.
Clock continues to run.
Tried to fight his way to get out of bounds and stop that clock and couldn't do so.
Now they did stop the clock.
Okay.
There apparently is a penalty.
Yeah. I saw the conversation, but I don't see the flag.
I didn't see I'm with you.
Holding, wow.
Offense, number 12. The penalty is enforced from the previous spot, half the distance, replay 2nd down.
Which was the 20. So move him all the way back to about the 10-yard line. And it's 2nd and 20. Gavin Owens. Good coverage.
Nice coverage and what's most important, a sure-handed open field tackle.
Keaton Whaley has played a great game tonight from that linebacker spot. We've called his name several times, and the senior linebacker made another big play.
Clock continues to run.
So 3rd and 12. Looking for a receiver and hit out of bounds. He had nowhere to go. Now we're going to force a 4th down situation.
Two things. One, they were lucky they didn't hit him out of bounds, which can happen so many times when you're chasing a quarterback this late in the game. And two, they lost even more yardage on that play.
So now from the 15-yard line, have to get to the 30 to pick up the 1st down. Let me draw that yellow line on your screen. Have to get across the 30 for a 1st down. It's 4th and 15. Here's your ball game. It gets loud.
Unbelievable. I thought they were going to do it. I was afraid to say it because I just could not believe they have kicked the football.
I don't get it. I'm sorry. So
they had Joshua Burkhalter back there, not a quarterback in the formation. It wasn't quick, but it was a kick and a short one. With 1:55, they kicked the football to Baylor, and it's not a good kick. But the Red Raiders take over at the 39.
But Rabun Gap only has 1 timeout remaining, am I right?
Yes. The scoreboard says if you 1 timeout left.
If you had 3 timeouts left, I might see it. With 1 timeout left, I don't see it. With 1:55 to play in the game. Oh, number 0. Be ready. You'll keep it on the ground to use as much time as you can. Look how sure-handed.
2 hands on the football.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't need the yards, you just need the possession. Don't make the big mistake.
Timeout. Rabun Gap.
All right,
that is their last timeout of the half.
So we have clarity on that. No timeouts, 1:46 left.
Taking over to 39.
You're about 5-6 yards away from moving the chains.
Which would put it away.
Which would basically...
If Rabun Gap cannot stop the clock anymore, and they cannot.
I'm still stunned. I mean, I know you have confidence in your defense, but my goodness, you didn't put them in a good position at all with that kick.
Yeah, I'm still struggling on that. Like I said, if you have 3 timeouts, but now a minute 46 left to play in the game.
You're 6 yards away from losing the football game. Admittedly, it would have been a long conversion, but
yeah,
you got to take that shot.
The scenarios seem more likely of making the first down than this scenario right here of stopping Baylor, using your 1 timeout, and having any time left to do anything.
So we have 2nd and 6.
Correct. I'm running DGG 3 times. So are they.
They heard you. First down.
Ball game. That's ball game.
I'm just. That is a stunning decision, Jim.
Yeah.
Because you've got talent at quarterback. You've got talent at receivers. You have broken some big plays. If you're going to do that, you have got to uncork one heck of a punt.
Yeah. And again, it just seemed like more things had to go right for Rabun Gap in that situation than this situation. And Rabun Gap for the 2nd week in a row had a chance.
Boy, and they got to feel like, what do we have to do
Woulda,
to
coulda,
win one
shoulda.
of these games? They got a Superman performance from David Gabriel Georges. Briggs Cherry made some big plays.
What's neat about this game, how many times did the emotion ping pong back and forth? Rabun Gap, you thought had Big Mo on their side until right at the end of the first half. Then in this second half, Rabun Gap takes the lead. Now you line up in victory and you're going to celebrate and watch the clock run down, winning it on special teams. And remember, Rabun Gap missing an extra point because
they had 12 men in the huddle, illegal substitution.
So they had a longer extra point and missed the extra point on their final touchdown. We said at the time that left the door open for the Red Raiders, and it certainly did. There's a great highlight reel coming up in just a moment.
Sometimes they say it's a game of inches. It was a game of yards tonight. 5 yards on a penalty led to a missed extra point. And the Red Raiders are able to pull this out 35-34. Unbelievable is an understatement.
A couple of pass interference penalties in the end zone. That illegal substitution penalty on Rabun Gap.
2 penalties in the end zone, and they never got a first down. They just got distance. They didn't get the down. I would love to, and I will stand. Just love to know. I have not seen those 2 calls.
What an entertaining game.
Fantastic.
Again, the ebbs and flows, and both coaches earning their keep tonight. And they are friends, by the way, in case you didn't know that. And competed against each other hard when each were at different schools and playing each other in South Carolina.
These guys know each other, and those are 2 very well-coached football teams. You have got to be impressed with how the Eagles came back in the second half and really dominated the third quarter. Just a stunning end to this.
And again, for Rabun Gap, 2 weeks in a row, had opportunities right there. When you're with a team, when it's a 1-possession game in the fourth quarter, you have the opportunity. That's all you could ask for.
You're going to look at the Eagles' record and go 0-2. That's a that's a solid football team right there.
Dare I say the best 0-2 team in the Southeast somewhere?
You could, after what we've seen out of them the last 2 weeks.
0-2 and ranked 7th in the state of Georgia. And I was looking at those rankings. There wasn't an 0-1 team in the top 25 in the state of Georgia. They played the number 1 team in Georgia last week.
Here we go, folks. Stay with me on this one. Opening possession, David Gabriel George's 30 yards down the right sideline to make it 7-0. 10 plays, 61 yards on that drive, 57 seconds on the possession. How about this? From 63 away, touchdown, 0. That makes it 14-7 Red Raiders. That's a 75-yard drive. We are not done. Not by a long shot. Briggs Cherry. Watch this catch by Jamie and Theodore. Unreal.
48 yards.
Full extension. They maintain possession. Watch the catch here by Braxton Rain. Post up in the end zone. High point, touchdown. They lead it at the half. Defense, always a number. The defensive line, nasty. Come up with a sack there. And then they force a turnover. The pressure, bad play by the Eagles. Boy, that kills that drive. And then watch the interception here. Maxim Suganyako, Velcro in those hands. He takes it down to the 19-yard line. That's going to set the table for David Gabriel George's again from 19 yards out. The burst, the acceleration, and the celebration. They call that a touchdown. And then watch this. Cherry again. He's going to air it out. What a catch by Keaton Dewey. What a catch. Nice vision. That ball almost deflected. That set the table for DGG again. And then watch this. After they force a punt on a quick kick, they run the clock out. The result, a 35-34 win for the Red Raiders.
A pretty good highlight reel as Baylor goes to 2-0 for the season. A 56-17 win over Santa Lucia's last week, and a 1-point win here tonight. 35-34 the final score. Red Raiders on the road next week at Brentwood Academy. Post-game celebration once again. So we'll see you in a couple weeks. See you on the 12th of September. LFL Academy. Wow, we're going to catch our breath and watch the post-game. Great win for the Red Raiders tonight. Now 2-0 for the year, winning by an extra point, 35-34.